Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we sift through radical proposals and research to give you the context and clarity you need on the biggest questions facing humanity.
We are continuing our deep dive into this blueprint for what's called the society that needs no owners, a really detailed design for a civilization built for a post-petroleum world.
Right. And if you've been with us, you know the diagnosis is pretty stark. It's about the convergence of four major crises.
Exactly. You've got the climate emergency, the failure of our current financial system, oil depletion, and then all this geopolitical tension on top. The argument is you can't just tweak that. You need a full rewrite.
And we've already done some heavy lifting in previous deep dives. We've laid out the foundational architecture. We started with philosophy that true wealth is actually time of life.
And from there, we built out the structure, the Cellula Estado, which is this community of about 25,000 people. It's all based on direct participatory democracy and ideas like Dunbar's number.
And crucially, we proved the budget works. We set up a whole economic system with a currency measured in hours of life, which allows for a 4-hour day.
And with only 2 of those hours dedicated to essential community needs, we've already shown that providing top-tier education, that's 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Excellent health, it's 13 minutes, and guaranteed housing at 19 minutes. It all fits comfortably inside that 2-hour budget.
So today we're facing what the source material calls the Trindade mortal, the deadly trinity, if you will.
Air, water, and energy.
Exactly. These are the 3 pillars that are, frankly, undermining civilization right now. So we're diving into Chapter 9 to see if this highly efficient model can actually solve these huge physical challenges: scarcity, pollution, depletion.
The mission today is to find the simple, achievable answers that are buried in the design.
Let's start with the most immediate silent killer, the one that's almost totally ignored in policy discussions: air pollution.
It's shocking, really. The sources are clear. 7 million premature deaths every single year, globally.
7 million.
And these are all linked to respiratory diseases, cardiovascular problems, cancers. The main cause is something called PM 2.5.
Can you break that down for us? What is PM 2.5?
Sure. So it's not the smog you can see. It's microscopic dust, particles less than 2.5 microns across.
And how small is that, really?
It's about 30 times smaller than the width of a human hair. So small that your body's natural filters, your nose, your throat, they can't catch it.
So it just goes straight into your system.
Straight into your bloodstream. And it can carry toxins with it, lead, mercury, directly into your organs.
And the really damning thing here is that this isn't a natural disaster. The sources show that 82% of urban pollution is human caused.
That's right. And while industry plays a part, the biggest delivery system for this poison is traffic. It accounts for 25% globally. And in some dense cities, that number jumps to 36%.
The car.
The car is the primary culprit.
Which brings us to this idea of just how inefficient the whole system is. I saw a finding from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and it was brutal.
It is. They found that combustion cars, you know, the ones most of us drive, only convert about 20% of the energy in gasoline into actual forward motion.
Just 20%?
Yeah.
So where does the other 80% go?
It's just lost.
Yeah.
Wasted as heat, noise, friction. It does nothing to get you where you're going.
That's appalling on its own. But you mentioned something earlier before we started about the true cost when you factor in the weight of the vehicle.
Yes, this is where the analysis gets really stark. Think about it. An average person weighs, what, 75 kilograms?
Sure, around that.
And the average car, an SUV, or even a sedan, is somewhere between 1,500 and 3,000 kilograms. So you're moving 20 to 40 times your own body weight just to go to the store.
I've never thought about it like that.
And when you run the numbers on the energy needed to move that giant metal box, the true efficiency of moving the human from A to B, it drops to less than 1%. Specifically, 0.95%.
Wow. Okay, that's an epic level of waste. And it's not just the energy, it's the human cost and the material cost.
Exactly. The sources cite 1.3 million deaths a year from traffic accidents alone. Plus, we have this global fleet of 1.6 billion cars.
Which we replace every 15 years or so.
Right. Generating between 2.4 and 4.8 billion tons of scrap material. It's just unsustainable.
So the radical solution here isn't just a better electric car.
No, that's just an incremental change. The proposal is to fundamentally eliminate the necessity of the private car through design.
Because in the cellular stato, everything essential work, school, healthcare, it's all within a 5 or 10 minute walk.
The car just becomes obsolete by the way the community is built.
Now, I have to be the critical voice for the listener here. You're talking about abolishing the car. That's a multi-trillion-dollar global industry, tens of millions of jobs. Doesn't the source address the massive pushback that would create?
It does, yeah. The source argues the transition is paid for by the savings. You eliminate the $1.2 trillion that car accidents and pollution cleanup cost the world every year. That's your budget for retraining and transition.
So efficiency pays for the shift.
It's a systemic shift, not a gradual one. But it instantly solves a huge chunk of our energy problems and could eliminate those 7 million deaths.
Okay, so what if you need to travel between these cellulas, say 2, maybe 5 kilometers away? What replaces the car for that?
The design uses something called iron lev technology. It's a super high efficiency transport system.
Iron lev, tell me more.
They're basically small platforms that passively float over magnetic rails. This gets rid of about 90% of the friction, so the energy cost is just minuscule.
Can you quantify minuscule for us? How little energy are we talking about?
Absolutely. The source did the math. Let's say a person travels 90 kilometers round trip 3 times a week. That's a pretty heavy commute.
Okay.
That would consume about 157 watt hours per day. Now, a single standard 700 watt peak solar panel,
Rock being watt peak.
right, it's maximum output. That one panel can power the weekly travel needs for 17.7 people using this iron lev system.
So transport goes from being this monster consumer of energy to almost nothing.
An almost negligible part of the budget. It completely flips the script.
That inefficiency in transport is just staggering. But when we zoom out, that 80% waste in cars is just one part of a much bigger system-wide problem with our energy grid.
Oh, absolutely. The world consumes about 19.6 terawatts annually. A terawatt is a trillion watts. It's a mind-boggling number.
And the source mentions that if we wanted to power all of that with solar panels in our current system, we'd need an area the size of Spain, which just sounds impossible.
It sounds impossible because the current system is catastrophically wasteful. And here's the central inefficiency we have to attack first.
Okay.
When you generate power, transmit it over long distances, and then distribute it to homes and businesses, you lose 70% to 73% of that energy before anyone ever gets to use it.
70% is just lost in the wires.
Lost in conversion, transmission, distribution. It's an astonishing figure.
So the biggest lever isn't necessarily producing more energy, it's just stopping the waste.
Precisely. By moving all energy generation to the local cellular level, you eliminate those losses immediately. And that one change shrinks the required solar area from the size of Spain down to the size of, say, Greece or England.
You just cut the problem by 2/3.
Just by changing the architecture of delivery.
Okay, so transmission losses are gone. We still need to cut our actual consumption. The sources point to 3 main villains, starting with industry, which uses 40% of all global energy.
Right. And the plan here uses what the source calls 3 surgical strikes against that industrial waste.
Strike 1.
The end of the car manufacturing industry, which we already covered. That alone is a massive industrial chain dedicated to making 100 million new vehicles a year. Gone.
Strike 2.
The end of planned obsolescence. It's a shift to what are called products for life. Every single item is designed to last for decades, be easily repaired, and be 100% recycled.
So no more buying a new phone every 2 years.
Exactly. The need for these constant manufacturing cycles just vanishes.
And the third strike is cultural. It's against the idea of ownership itself.
Yes. Education for intelligent minimalism. The whole culture shifts from individual ownership to sharing durable goods, tools, industrial equipment.
You know, the classic example. Why does everyone on a street own a power drill they use for 10 minutes a year?
That's the perfect example. Share one high-quality, long-lasting drill.
I have to pause you there, though. Ending planned obsolescence? Promoting minimalism?
Yeah.
That isn't an engineering problem. That's a culture war against consumerism. How does the system enforce that?
The enforcement mechanism is the currency itself, time. Since everything is priced in your time of life, the cost of making something and maintaining it is totally transparent.
Ah, I see.
If a shoddy product forces you to work more hours to replace it, the accountability is immediate. The system naturally steers you away from waste.
And the result of these 3 strikes?
A 60% reduction in industrial consumption. The calculation shows one 750 YP solar panel is enough to cover the industrial needs of 3 people.
Incredible. Okay, let's move to residential, which is 35% of the global total, mostly for heating and cooling.
And we don't have to live in uncomfortable homes. The solution here is well established. It's the passive house, or passive house standard.
This is a building technique, right?
It's a very rigorous architectural method. It uses extreme insulation, airtight construction, triple-paned windows, and controlled ventilation with heat recovery.
And the efficiency gain from that is what?
A standard passive house can cut heating and cooling needs by up to 90%. But even if you apply a more conservative 70% reduction across the board and combine that with local solar generation,
The numbers change dramatically.
they do. The math shows that 2 standard solar panels can supply 3 homes with all the residential electricity. Hot water, lights, appliances, everything.
This efficiency-first approach just changes the entire landscape. But what about the last piece of transport? Travel between cities or overseas?
For city-to-city travel, you leverage time efficiency. Instead of flights or daytime drives, you shift to high-speed electric trains or micropods that have sleeper pods.
So you travel while you sleep.
Exactly. You can cover up to 800 kilometers overnight, meaning you lose 0 waking hours on the journey. It makes short-haul flights completely redundant.
What about, say, transatlantic travel? That needs a massive amount of energy.
It does, and it's expensive.
Okay.
But it's priced transparently in hours of life. The source estimates an 88-hour work commitment, so about 1 month of your essential work contribution for a transatlantic trip.
Which is still far cheaper than today.
About 4 times cheaper than current market rates, yes. And critically, most of that cost doesn't go to profit. It gets funneled directly into R&D for cleaner propulsion systems.
So the system is constantly funding its own improvement.
And finally, cargo. Global shipping uses 3% of world energy, and it's the dirtiest fuel out there.
How do you tackle that without just cutting yourself off from the world?
The first step is, again, reduction. The goal is a 60% cut in cargo by focusing on radical local production. If the community needs it, the cellular network should be able to make it.
But for things you still want to import?
To discourage frivolous imports, every item is given what the source calls a traceable DNA.
Meaning what, exactly?
If you insist on importing some luxury item from overseas, the future disposal cost of that item is attached directly to you. You are personally accountable for the time and resources needed to recycle it or manage its waste when it breaks.
That transparency would definitely change my buying habits.
It changes everything.
Let's move to our third and final element, water. The source starts with a statistic that just floored me. A single cow raised for beef consumes around 3.5 million liters of water in its lifetime.
It's an incredible number, and it highlights this paradox of the invisible water export. You take a country like Brazil, it holds 12% of all the world's fresh water, but it still faces severe water crises.
Why is that?
Because the true water consumption of an average Brazilian, when you factor in the water embedded in their food and products, is 53,000 liters per day.
53,000? How is that possible?
They don't see it. Brazil exports around 300 trillion liters of water a year, embedded in things like beef and soy. If 1 kilogram of beef takes 15,500 liters of water to produce, you're literally shipping your finite water supply overseas.
So the solution has to start with agriculture.
It has to. The cellular design shifts all local food production to hyper-efficient methods like hydroponics and drip irrigation. That alone saves up to 95% of the water used in traditional farming.
And what about on the residential side, wastewater sanitation?
That's where the loop closes. The goal is 100% water reuse. All residential organic waste and water gets funneled into communal biodigesters.
And that does what?
3 things at once. It solves sanitation, it creates high-quality organic fertilizer for local agriculture, and it even produces emergency methane gas. It dramatically reduces the community's need for fresh water.
It sounds comprehensive, but is it realistic for 25,000 people to be totally self-sufficient, just relying on rain?
It is. As long as you're in a region with moderate rainfall, say 1,600 millimeters a year, the design aims for 100% pluvial or rainwater collection.
And the math works.
The math works. The collection area you need is about 1.3 million square meters, and you get that from the rooftops of the 120 condos, plus the 6 neighborhood lakes that are part of the design.
But what about resilience? What if you have a multi-year drought?
Resilience is key. It's built in with 4 distinct layers of water security. First, every condo has its own cisterns, which hold about a 100-day reserve.
Okay.
Second, the neighborhood lakes provide another 30 days or so. Third, you have strategic deep wells for backup. And the final fail-safe is a large central dam for the whole cell, which holds a 1-year reserve for the entire population.
So it's designed to withstand a severe extended drought.
Exactly.
Let's bring this all full circle. It's an incredible design. We've hit zero PM 2.5 emissions. We have energy self-sufficiency, closed-loop water. But what's the final price tag? What's the maintenance cost and time?
This is the amazing part. The ongoing maintenance, staffing, operations, parts for the entire electrical, water, and iron lead system, it's astoundingly low.
Oh.
It requires a commitment of just 6.4 minutes per day per active person.
6.4 minutes. That's less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. Let's add it all up.
Let's do it.
Okay, we had education at 26 minutes, health at 13 minutes, housing at 19 minutes, and now we add this core infrastructure maintenance at 6.4 minutes.
The grand total for a guaranteed high-quality life running at peak efficiency is 64.4 minutes per day.
Just over an hour. It proves the most productive use of human time isn't endless labor, it's intelligent design.
It really is.
64 minutes a day to guarantee excellence in your home, your health, your education, your environment, all while being energy self-sufficient with the equivalent of just 3 solar panels per person and having 232 liters of clean water a day.
We've solved the physical structure with the cell, the economy with time, and now the essential services and infrastructure with the next chapter. That's the final test.
Right. We know how to live and where to live, but can we sustainably feed 10.3 billion people? And not just feed them, but feed them better than we do today.
That's the ultimate test of the model's viability.
We have broken the back of the Trinity mortal. Now we tackle alimentation food. Until then, we'll leave you with this provocation. If a sustainable, dignified life requires less than 90 minutes of your time a day, why are you spending 8 to 10 hours working in a system that guarantees the pollution and depletion of the very resources you need to survive?
Hey!